Hi, my name is Stephanie Dawn and welcome to the Common Climber YouTube channel. This is our 2021 10 Gifts for Safe Climbing video. The items in this video I either own and love or I want to own. Nothing here is sponsored. And by the way, if you're looking for gifts that are under, say, $25, check out our under $25 stocking stuffer holiday video for climbers. Now, to get into the gift giving spirit, an awesome gift that you can give right now is to click the like, follow, and bell buttons below. Okay, let's dig in. Every holiday season, my husband and I give each other climbing gifts that focus on safety. This gives us permission to replace old and worn items that we might just blow off or ignore otherwise. This list is not in any particular order. All of these things are important, and I invite you to stay through the whole thing because I actually have lots of tips sprinkled throughout. Item number 1, re-sling your old trad gear. If you climb a lot, soft goods for climbing are recommended to be replaced every 5 years, and this includes the slings on your cams. Now, as expensive as cams are, it's surprisingly inexpensive to get your slings re-slinged. Metolius only charges $3 per cam, and they also inspect and lube the cam itself, and Black Diamond charges $8 per sling. Now, of course, the main annoyance is that you're going to be without gear for a couple of weeks, but doing this over the holidays can allow you to plan. Like maybe send it away while you're visiting family, or if you're going to go climbing, center it around a sport climbing trip. There's some links for you to access Metolius and Black Diamond equipment cam repair. Item number 2, re-sling your alpine draws. Now, your carabiners are fine, but since these are soft goods, you need to replace the runners on your alpine draws at least every 5 years. Now, there's a variety of options for runners. A common recommendation is Dyneema or Dynex 8 to 12 millimeter slings. Some people go as wide as 18 millimeters. That width can be hard to do an alpine draw like this, but you can do the over the shoulder with the single carabiner on it that wide. With these, the thickness can get bulky. You can get slings from any number of climbing brands, but the Mammut contact sling is particularly nice because they don't have a lip where the material is sewn together. They just have this black, see how it's smooth there? This reduces the potential for the sling to not catch when you pull it apart. This is what a lot of slings look like, where they have a lip on both sides. These will run you about $9 per double-sized runner, and this is a double. Safety item number 3. Replace your personal anchor system. It's a soft good. Are you catching a theme here? I actually replace my pass though more frequently than once every 5 years. It's such a critical piece of equipment that I replace it every other year. I've always been a fan of the Camp Daisy Twist, which I reviewed on Common Climber, and you can find this link here. I'm not going to get into all the reasons in this video why I like the pass, but one is redundancy. So it's double stitched in a way, such a way that if I was clipped in a lower loop, like right here, and an upper loop, if this lower loop breaks, this upper loop still has the integrity. You're not going to become completely disconnected. Whereas if you have a pass that's just the rings interlocking, then if one loop breaks further down, being double clipped in on the loop above isn't going to help you at all. But most passes are constructed of solid material with double stitching, and if you inspect and replace them frequently, the risk of a loop breaking is really low. Now, one of the common criticisms that you hear about a pass is that they're not dynamic. So if you get above your anchor and you accidentally fall onto your pass, you can do some damage to your body because your body ends up absorbing the force rather than your pass, which is static. Now, in the many years that I've been climbing, I've never fallen on my pass. There just aren't that many scenarios where it happens. But if you're concerned about it, there is a way to mitigate it, and Metolius has created a pass that uses a dynamic rope. I'm personally curious about this one. Safety item number 4, get a bipattern rope. I get it, bipattern ropes are expensive, but we're talking about holiday gift giving and safety, and this is the time to spend the extra money on yourself. Without a doubt, bipattern ropes are safer because there's no question about where the midpoint is. It will not fade. Nearly every solid color rope that I've climbed or owned has the midpoint marker that's faded to the point where you can no longer see it. This is an invitation for a potentially serious accident. And at the very least, knowing where your midpoint is when you're doing a bunch of rappels on a multi-pitch is going to help save you time in rappelling. Now, not all bipattern ropes are created equal. Some have more obvious pattern differentiation than others, but Edelrid has come out with the best bipattern rope yet. It's the Tommy Caldwell Eco Dry. It has 2 completely different colors, look at this, for each half of the rope. And as far as I know, it's the only rope on the market that does this. And this is one of our Christmas gifts to ourselves this holiday season. So excited to use it. Number 5, assisted braking belay device. It's time to get rid of that cheap tube style belay device. With the variety of options of assisted braking devices out there, many of which actually are really affordable, they're not all the expensive gree-gree, there's really no reason not to have one. My all-time favorite belay device is the Edelrid Giga Jul. The Giga Jul is only $50. It is light, it is stainless steel, and of course it's assisted braking. There's no reason not to get it. And there's so many reasons to love this device. I'm gonna do a review on it soon. As an aside, I did do a review of the Mega Jul, which I like a lot, and I actually always have on my harness because it's also really super light as my backup device. But the Giga Jul is my all-time favorite, and it does everything an ATC does. Everything. Regular ATC? Assisted braking. Okay, I won't get into the features, I get so excited about it. But if you want to see the review of the Mega Jul, and a lot of the features are in the Giga Jul also, and then some above and beyond, check that out here. Safety item number 6, locking carabiners. Now, carabiners aren't something that need to be replaced often, but having a spare locking carabiner, especially on a multi-pitch and for anchors, they're always helpful. It's real common, particularly out here, to get sand into your twisting mechanism for the locker. See, this is an old locker here. This one's probably pretty close to being retired. You can hear it squeaking. There was one time I couldn't even get the locker undone at all. I almost had to cut my pass to free myself from it and then leave the locker behind. It took quite a while banging and yarding on it. I finally got it to release, but it was really stressful. And you all know too that as the lockers start getting worn down, then that's also a time to be replacing them. Now, one of my favorite locking carabiners is the Black Diamond Magnetron, which they don't make anymore, or I'd be recommending it here. There are lots of other options though for the locking carabiners, and I just say try the locking mechanism, twist it to see if you like it. Some of them take a long time to open and close and feels like it just takes forever. Some are smoother than others, so some have red warning symbols on there, all kinds of different options, so lots to choose from. Safety item number 7, the locking belay carabiner. I know that this still falls under the locking carabiner category, but I'm listing it separately because it's a specialized carabiner where there's a clip for your belay loop, so the carabiner doesn't move or flip while you're belaying. This prevents cross-loading of the carabiner or having the rope shift into a compromised position. Frankly, I used to think it was ridiculous to have a carabiner specifically made for belaying. It just seemed so single use. But the fact of the matter is we always have a dedicated locker for belaying. So my single use argument if I really thought about it, it doesn't really fly. I've actually tried several types of these locking belay carabiners, and my favorite is this Edelrid Bulletproof Triple. Now I know I'm repeating Edelrid. You'd think they were paying me or giving me some free gear. They're not. They just have fantastic and innovative products. The Bulletproof not only has this awesome stainless steel insert here, which prevents aluminum from rubbing onto your rope, it also just lasts longer. It doesn't get worn down. This particular one has this auto-locking mechanism. It's the triple twist, so it takes a little bit of getting used to twisting it. With that said, I have to say my hubby doesn't like the triple lock, so he just uses the screw lock version of this bulletproof carabiner. Item number 8, Autoblock Cord. Soft good. This is an expensive item that's just great to have on your harness at all times. Not only is it helpful for setting up an auto block for a rappel, which by the way you don't need if you have one of these Giga Juls and you're rappelling in the assisted braking mode. But I still keep it on my harness even though I rappel with that, because sometimes if you need to escape or set up a prusik on a rope for self-rescue, it's just handy to have one of these. Number 9, speaking of self-rescue, take a self-rescue class from a certified guide. Number 10, the final item. I call this the retreat pack. It includes a folding serrated knife, webbing, or I even have some of my old retired slings, rappel ring, old retired carabiners, like this one is going to go into it. Basically, the kinds of things that you would want to have with you in case you need to retreat off of a route, set up a rappel, or if you end up at a rappel station where there's crispy old webbing that could be dangerous. You just have these things here to back those things up and help get you down safely. I just put it in a spare bag. This was from one of my harnesses, and carry it in my multi-pitch pack every time I go on a multi-pitch climb. There's obviously more safety items that you can get, like a helmet. Inspect the inside if there's any cracking. They even say if there's lots of dents on the outside, get a new helmet. I think I'm probably due for a new helmet. Of course, your harness, you want to inspect it frequently. Make sure it's not worn in any areas. Use this holiday to stock up on these kinds of safety items, so you're never hanging hundreds of feet above the ground and wondering what if.